What if I told you some creatures are so bizarre? Scientists still don't know if they were even alive. Seriously, these fossils don't just bend the rules of biology. They break them, crush them, and toss them out the window. From gut-launching tongues to tentacled trees with windows made of flesh, these are the life forms that make scientists throw their hands in the air and say, "What is this thing?" Let's dive into the strangest fossils ever discovered. Creatures so alien, they make dinosaurs look ordinary. Back in 1966, an amateur fossil hunter was exploring the swamps of Illinois when he stumbled on something that defied everything he knew. It was small, about 14 inches long, but terrifying. A cigar-shaped body, triangle fins, stalked eyes, and a long, toothy snout that looked like a robotic tentacle. It didn't match anything alive today, not even close. He brought it to the Field Museum of Natural History, and the scientists were just as baffled. Was it a worm, a mollusk, a vertebrate? Nobody knew. They called it the Tully Monster gregarium, or as the internet lovingly dubbed it, the Tully Monster. Nearly 60 years later, we still don't know what it was. Some claim it was a jawless fish. Others say it was a soft-bodied invertebrate. All we really know is that it lived in a shallow tropical sea, swam freely, and was almost certainly a predator. But what kind of animal it was, that question's still on the table. Nobody knows. Now, if the Tully Monster wasn't strange enough, let me introduce you to its even weirder cousin, Typhloesus, nicknamed the alien goldfish. Found in Montana's Bear Gulch limestone in the 1970s, this creature dates back 330 million years. And it's so confusing that scientists didn't even want to talk about it for decades. Picture a tiny, torpedo-shaped body with no limbs, no midsection, and no butt. That's right, it had no discernible digestive exit. But somehow, it still managed to eat. Even creepier, it had a strange internal organ filled with iron. No one had ever seen anything like it, so they named the organ Ferrodiscus, which sounds like a sci-fi weapon, not a body part. For a while, they thought it might be related to conodonts, an ancient group of jawless vertebrates, but when they found teeth inside its gut, they realized those teeth weren't its. It had eaten something else, so now we know it was a carnivore. Fast forward to 2022, and scientists proposed something wild. Typhloesus might have had a toothy tongue that shot from its gut, like something out of a horror movie. That's something we do see in some mollusks today, but radula-like tongues have evolved multiple times, even outside the mollusk family. So, is Typhloesus a mollusk, a mystery, or something we've never classified before? Next up, two fossils so strange that scientists had to use the alphabet to name them. Meet Adakistes and Esmacia, also known as the H and Y animals. They were discovered in the same place as the Tully Monster, the Mason Creek Formation in Illinois, and they're just as confusing. Adakistes, the H-shaped one, looks like someone glued arms onto a sausage. It might have been a colony-forming organism, growing throughout its life and feeding on floating particles. Some of its sac-like middle parts even came in different shapes, circular, heart-shaped, or something in between. Scientists think it might be related to acorn worms, but honestly, that's just a guess. Then there's Esmacia, the Y-shaped one. It has a slit-like mouth, strange symmetrical limbs, and get this, it has a complete gut and a butt. That rules out a lot of simple life forms, like sea anemones, which it sort of resembles. Bottom line, both of these things look like rejected Pokémon designs, and they're still unsolved mysteries. Now it's time for something straight out of your nightmares. Namacalathus lived over 540 million years ago during the Ediacaran period. It looks like a tree made of muscle, topped with openings that might have been mouths, or something worse. When scientists first dug it up, they thought it was some kind of ancient coral. But on closer inspection, its body was made of calcified material, and its leaves were actually rows of tentacles and sharp spines. Even more disturbing, its trunk had little windows scattered all over, holes in its flesh that came in weird shapes like moons, hearts, hexagons, even heptagons. No one knows what those openings did. Breathing, feeding, terrifying its neighbors. Oh, and by the way, it could change its size depending on where it lived, and it thrived in the dark, terrifying depths of the abyss. To this day, no one knows what Namacalathus really was. Coral? Animal? Something else entirely? All we know is we're glad it's extinct. Now let's go back even further. I'm talking 2.1 billion years ago to the Paleo-Proterozoic era. In Gabon, Africa, scientists discovered disc-shaped structures buried in ancient black shale. They're circular. Some look like flowers, others like tubes or strings of pearls. The kicker? They're so old, scientists can't even agree if they're fossils. Some say they're the oldest multicellular life ever discovered. Others say they're just rocks shaped by chemical reactions. If they're real organisms, it changes everything. It means complex life began way earlier than we thought. If not, well, then we're back to the drawing board. Recent studies showed these formations contain zinc, which might be a sign of metabolism. That supports the idea that they were once alive, but the jury's still out. In 1910, a fossil turned up in Canada's famous Burgess Shale. It looked like a stretched-out shrimp, so the paleontologist named it Nectocaris, meaning swimming shrimp. For decades, no one paid much attention. Then, in 2010, scientists found 91 better-preserved specimens. And guess what? It didn't look like a shrimp at all. Instead, it looked like a squid, with stalked eyes, a flat body, 2 tentacles, and a weird funnel-shaped snout that may have worked like a reversible proboscis. Yep, its mouth might have been able to turn inside out to grab prey. For a while, it was declared the earliest known cephalopod, until scientists realized it appeared too early in the fossil record, way before cephalopods were even supposed to exist. Now, it's in scientific limbo again. Not a shrimp, not a squid, not anything we know. Just another ghost in the fossil record. When we look at these creatures, it's tempting to laugh or shudder. They're bizarre, ugly, even terrifying. But they're also reminders. Reminders that evolution is messy, that nature doesn't always follow the rules, that there are entire chapters of life's story we haven't even begun to understand. These creatures might be dead ends, forgotten experiments of evolution, or they might hold the key to discovering entire branches of life we never knew existed. One thing is clear: the deeper we dig, the stranger it gets. So, what else is still buried?